Betty Jen from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am here with a new project for Countrycraft Creations using the brand new Doodlebug Bunny Hop collection. This one is super cute. Lots of fun elements in this. And what I have done is a Gatefold Folio. This is 6x8. We've got an acetate belly band to hold it closed. It's got a 1.5 inch spine on both sides. On the front here, I took these little pieces from the odds and ends and kind of popped them up, so if you've got this standing up and it's your belly band ends up being a little bit looser fit, it's not gonna slide off because it'll bump into those down on the bottom, which is the intention with doing that way and popping those up. On the top here, on my biggest gusset on my inside elements, I did do a couple of the border strips. So you've got that little element sitting there. On the front here, I've got one of the cut aparts and then another cut apart on the back because, of course, with the size, the 12x12 acetate was not quite long enough to go all the way around, so I had to come up with an alternative. But that is the super cute Easter dot printed acetate. This is super heavyweight, very, very nice acetate. I love working with this. So when we open this up, we have got pockets on both sides with the little tags from the tag cut apart sheet. I've used chunky twine on the top of each one of those and then frayed it out so that it just kind of fluffs out a little bit on all of my little tags there. I did mat that pocket with the 6x6 paper collection, so I used a mix of the 12x12 and the 6x6 in here. These pieces are from the odds and ends. These are from the this and that sticker sheet. Those are both from the this and that sticker sheet. And my little bunnies back here are from the icon stickers. Okay, right here we've got this little guy from the odds and ends. And then this little piece from the bits and pieces that is just tucked in here. Behind that, this opens up, is actually held closed with a magnet. And I've got a shallow pocket in here that, again, I've used the border strips on, and then I've got my little journaling cut aparts in here. This opens up and lays flat. Up here, I've got a belly band and another pocket. So if you've got bigger pictures or an insert or something, and I've got just some of my cut aparts tucked in there. This little guy's from the odds and ends. These are both from the Chit Chat. This is one of the cut aparts here. I didn't do any matting on the inside of this because I really just kind of wanted to leave it as is. This side I've got odds and ends, Chit Chat, and bits and pieces. And this is actually, it's got foam tape on it, but I left the backing on so you could slide a picture on there, under there, pull the foam tape off for it to stick down, but you'd still be able to get a picture in there. This is from the this and that sticker sheet. This is from the bits and pieces, and I did leave the inside of this one just blank, so that flips up like so. This side is just a mirror of that side, and again with the odds and ends and the Chit Chat. This again is from the this and that sticker sheet, and then this is just a nice sized accordion pocket back here. And then some pieces from the odds and ends and the Chit Chat, along with the border stickers from the this and that sticker sheet. So very, very simple, goes together really quickly. Will hold a lot of pictures or just a few pictures because I don't know, I don't take a lot of Easter pictures, but some of you might, I don't know. So I'm going to just slide this back on here. And there you go. There is my project. As always, tutorial is going to play next. All measurements are given in the tutorial. And thanks for stopping by. If you end up making this project or any of my other projects, I counted it today. I have 177 free tutorials on my channel. Just curious. I was bored in a meeting, so what did I do? I went to my channel and counted tutorials. But as always, if you end up making this project or any of my other projects, please post and tag me on Facebook at Scrapping Under the Influence or on Instagram at Scrapping Under the Influence, and also share them in Scrapbookers of Countrycraft Creations on Facebook. So let's get to the tutorial. Okay, so to start, you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard 3 by 8, 2 pieces 1.5 by 8, and 1 piece 6 by 8. You're going to cover the back of these in their entirety with score tape. Okay, we're going to start with our 6 by 8. So I've got my scoreboard. I need to find my cardstock here. Okay, so to wrap this, you need a piece of cardstock that is 8 by 10. We're going to use our 1-inch spacers. Get the backing off of our tape. And then go ahead and put that down. Okay. Next up, 3 by 8. Cardstock for this is going to be 5 by 10. Ah, I'm losing my piece all over the place here. Okay. Again, 1-inch spacers. We're going to do that same 5 by 10 2 times. Well, maybe. Okay. And then your spine pieces, you'll need 2 pieces that are 5.5 by 10. Go ahead and get backing off of these. Maybe. Except we need to swap that out for our 1.5-inch spacer. Sitting here looking at it as I'm pulling the backing off, going, wait a minute, something's not right. That would be what is not right. So for our spine pieces, you want your 1.5 on that side. Okay. There we go. And the last one. Okay. We are done with spacers. Move that out of the way. Did I do these too big? Did I totally, like, not measure right? Yeah. 4.5, not 5.5. No wonder I was like, when I was cutting these, I was like, that seems like really big. That would be why. So I'm just going to trim those down. So that should have been 4.5 by 10, not 5.5. Because, you know, it's just apparently how today's going to go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and fold my cardstock around my hinge, or I'm sorry, my spine pieces. And because this is a gatefold, there are 2 of them. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and get that corner cut out. I'm going to do it like this. You can cut just along your fold lines and then miter as needed. You can cut it across that way. I find that I end up getting a little carried away when I do it that way, so I started doing it this way because it just was easier for me. But you do what works best for you. Okay. And the next piece. finish mitering it. That would probably help, huh? Okay. And then I'm going to take 1/4" score tape. I'm trying to find all of my bone folders that I want. I'm going to put that just on that end down here like so. Okay, let's see. My glue wants to cooperate today. Oh, yep, it definitely does, because there it went. Ugh, some days, I'm telling you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the backing off on my ends. We're going to do both of these spine pieces the same, so I'm going to run glue along there. Take my bone folder, up and over. So again, along your spine. Open down. Same thing on this one. So okay, I'm going to flip these over, and I am going to take my bone folder and I'm going to run it right along the edge of that spine. Okay, so you can see, turn it that way. Okay, see where this isn't like defined really, and then after I do it, it really defines where that spine piece is. Okay, that's what you want. Okay, and then I'm going to take my score tape again, and I'm going to put it right here along this outside edge, because when we go to put our cover together, this is just going to ensure that our pieces grab immediately, so that you don't run the risk of having them kind of slide and get, you know, kind of off kilter when you're putting it together. Okay. All right, I'm going to set those aside for right now. For our other 3 pieces, you're going to wrap them on all 4 sides. Okay. So same thing again. I'm just going to fold and crease. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and miter. And then I'm going to come in with the score tape again. I'm going to go around all 4 sides. Like so. And then we're going to do the exact same thing we did on just the ends on the two hinge pieces or spine pieces. I don't know why I keep saying hinge. This is a folio. There is no hinge. There are spine pieces. Okay. And then we're going to come along the edge of the chipboard with the glue in that open space. I'm going to go up and over. You can just continue on around. I like it to be more symmetrical, I guess. So I do tend to go up and over. We'll do our long sides. So we're going to do the exact same thing on both other pieces, and I will be right back. Okay, everything is wrapped. We've got our two 3x8, 1.5x8, 6x8. I'm going to move my two 3x8s off to the side and one of my spines off to the side. Okay, I'm going to turn this over right side up. I'm going to go ahead and pull the backing off of the tape, and then I'm going to go put glue in that section. Okay. I'm going to line that up using my finger just to make sure it's at the top. Put that down. Okay. Now we're doing the exact same thing on the other side with our other spine. Okay. And down. And then we'll do our two cover pieces. Exact same thing. Glue. Line it up. Again. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this over and I'm just going to burnish. And when I'm burnishing, I'm pushing those hinge pieces more firmly down in between my cover pieces. Okay. Next, you need 2 pieces of cardstock, which mine are actually probably longer than they need to be, but I'm going to go with it. These are 6 by 7 7/8. Okay, so you're just slightly shorter, and that's going to reinforce this whole spine area. Okay. You do want to cover the entire back of this with tape, because when you put this down, if you're using glue, it can bubble up. You can have like weird, sometimes you can have the glue lines that you can see. You don't want that. You want full coverage with tape, because that will go down nice and smooth and flat. Okay. I'm just going to burnish over that. And then same thing for the other side. So again, this is 6 by 7 7/8. covered completely in tape on the back side. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for where my hinge is, and I'm just going to run my bone folder along there so that I'm creating a line. Okay. And it should kind of go where it ultimately is going to bend once you get it in that little groove. Okay, so you can see how we now have a line there. I'm going to fold this all the way over. Fold this one all the way over. Come back and pinch. Okay. Same thing over here. All the way over. All the way over. And pinch. Okay, so there we go. There's our gatefold cover. I will be back in a minute with our insides. Okay, so let's work on our inside. First thing I need to do is mat, which I don't need to mat those just yet, but I've got them cut, so I'm going to go ahead and mat those. Mat the inside piece of the gatefold front. So, which way do I want to do this? I think I'm going to do it that way. Because we have pockets we're going to put on top of this, and we want it matted underneath the pockets. So, okay. So my matting is 7 7/8 by 2 7/8, and then 7 7/8 by 1 3/8. For my little middle piece there. So there's those. Now, I just realized my measurement on these is wrong. Alright, so for the pockets, you want 4 pieces that are 3 7/8 by 3. 3? Yeah, 3. Sorry, I had to think for a second there. So 3 7/8 by 3. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and score these. You're going to start with the 3 7/8 at the top of your scoreboard, and you're going to score it 1/2 inch on each side, on 3 sides. And you're going to do that on all 4. So 1/2 inch, turn, 1/2 inch again, turn, 1/2 inch. Our last one. Okay. So I'm going to stack these up and miter all 4 of them at once. If you're newer to this, do them one at a time, but we're going to miter at the top. And then where the score line intersects on the bottom down here, we're going to go all the way through. Like so. Okay. Alright, so then I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish my score lines. Alright, so let me grab the base. We're going to start on the bottom down here. What we're going to do, I do that just a teeny bit more. There we go. I'm going to put glue on my bottom tab. And I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. And this finish size should be about the same width as your matting. If a little bit sticks out the side of the matting, that's absolutely fine. We just want to make sure that this is not in the way of our hinge. Okay. I'm going to go to the opposite side, do the same thing again. Okay. And then let me see here. I'm going to kind of lay my ruler here and find my halfway point, which happens to coincide with that kind of teal stripe there. Okay. The reason you're going to kind of measure about where that needs to go is you don't want them too close together, just so that you still can see the paper in between and so that it's not too tight. To put your tags in and out. Okay. 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 There is that much. Okay. Move this back out of the way. I'm going to grab my scoreboard again. We are going to start with our biggest flap. Okay. So the main flap is going to be 9 3/4 by 5 7/8. With the 9 3/4 at the top of your scoreboard, you're going to score this at 1/2 inch and 1 3/4. So you're going to have a 1 1/4 inch gusset at the top here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and miter. Set that aside. On top of that, we're going to do a belly band that is 2 inches by 6 7/8. So we're going to put that with the 6 7/8 at the top of the scoreboard. Score it 1/2 inch, turn it around, 1/2 inch again, and then miter. Okay. It's also going to be a pocket. This is 6 7/8 by 4. Starting with the 6 7/8 at the top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch, turn, 1/2 inch again, turn, and 1/2 inch. Let's go ahead and miter. So just like we did with our other pockets, you're going to miter at the top, and then you're going to go through the middle where the score lines intersect. Okay. We have another pocket. This is 2 by 6 7/8. This one we're only going to score on the end. So with the 6 7/8 at the top, you're going to score 1/2 inch. Turn it around, 1/2 inch again, and miter. And then we have 2 flaps. These are 5 by 5 1/2. With the 5 1/2 at the top of the scoreboard, you're going to score at 1/2 inch on both pieces. And then miter. Okay. So we are going to put this together before we actually put it in the book. So there's your score lines. We're going to turn it so that the bumpy side is facing up, and we're going to go ahead and attach our flaps. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fold and burnish on both flaps. And we're just going to center these on the page. Go all the way to the outside edge of the flap. Actually, I need to come up, don't I? Just kidding. Yeah, let's not do the flap first. Let's do the pocket first. Totally forgot which side I'm on. And what goes with what. So, the pocket. I am going to put glue on each tab. Then I'm going to put a line of glue along the bottom. Okay. And that is going to go at the bottom of the flap. There we go. That first. Then we're going to center our flap between the pocket, the top of the pocket, and the top of the first score line there. And the other side. Okay, there's that side. So this side, other than I think I just did the pocket in the wrong direction. I think I did. Okay, you know what? That's fine. This will be the front. Oh my god. Seriously. I shouldn't be doing this. I should just be like laying on the couch eating snacks and enjoying the fact I'm the only one home. But here we are. Okay. So, this one. Oh my lord. Okay, pocket is going to go right down here. Belly band is going to go up here just as an additional place to kind of tuck things in and hold things in. So we're going to start with the pocket itself and fold and burnish. going to attach the bottom flap, or bottom tab that is, first. And we are going right down just a hair above our score line. So not quite touching the score line, but not where like you see a big gap, if that makes sense. Okay. Put that back. Go ahead and glue our sides down. Okay. The belly band is going to go more towards the top. The idea here being that anything that you tuck in here, the belly band will help kind of keep it in place. Okay. And if you want to do your belly band smaller, you absolutely can. I typically will size these things so that I can cut the border strips where they fit exactly on top of one of these. So I did do these where I left a couple of them together just because, I don't know, I just really liked how that one looked, and I really liked the bunnies with the polka dots. So I did cut those to fit a 2-inch belly band in that case. Okay, so this is going to flip up, so I'm turning the book upside down. Putting glue on my tab. And since this is 1/8 of an inch smaller than the width of our book, we are just going to go all the way to the top. And center it up. Okay. There we go. Okay. All right, so this will flip up and out like so. Okay. The next thing we're going to work on is going to be our next set of flaps. First piece is going to be 7 by 7.5 with the hold on, let me think for a second. How was I doing this? No, it's right. Okay. With 7.5 by 7.5. That's what threw me off because I wrote 7 by 7.5. Okay. We're going to score at 1/2 inch. And then we're going to score at 1.5. Okay. We have another flap that is 7.5 by 4.5 with the 4.5 at the top of the scoreboard. You're going to score at 1/2 inch. Okay. We're going to miter. And miter. Fold and burnish. That tab and my score line. Okay. And then this flap will attach to that, the bigger flap. And I think I want it to go on top. Like so. And our bookend, and this is going to go over here on the left. So I'm going to fold that back flat. So I can truly see where my score line is. And we're going to center this up. It's going to be about 1/4 of an inch space on the top and on the bottom. And then just make sure that you're not going into that little gap there. I'm sorry, not gap, little, what do you call that? Where it's going to be in the way when your spine bends. I know what I'm trying to say. I can't think of the actual word for it right at the top of my head. Not really gusset, but kind of like that. I don't know. You guys know what I mean. Okay. That piece is good. Okay. Next one is 8 by 6.5. With the 6.5 at the top of the scoreboard, we're going to score at 1/2 inch, and we're going to score at 3/4. Okay, we have 2 flaps that are 6 by 5. With the 6 inch at the top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. On both. Okay. We're going to miter. And miter. Okay. We'll go ahead and fold and burnish. And fold and burnish. Okay. This one will open to the right. These are going to go top and bottom. Okay. Like so. Okay. And then go ahead and bring this back in. Get glue on this tab. And then again, make sure you don't go all the way to the bottom. Should be fine. You may have to dry fit it first to make sure you don't need to dry fit it before you put the flaps on it to make sure you don't need to take anything off of it. Mine is okay because I think I did cut it just under 8 inches high. Okay, so that goes there, this goes here, this goes here. Okay, so far so good. Now, we're going to do an accordion pocket. The accordion pocket is going to be 8 7/8 by 7, which I probably need to trim that down. So what you're going to want to do, got your flaps in here. Okay, you want to measure in between. Yeah, I think I'm going to take another 1/8 of an inch off of this because I think it's going to be tight. So I'm going to take this down to 8 3/4. Okay, now I'm going to score starting on the 8 3/4 side, 8 7/8 if you didn't need to trim any off. 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2. I'm going to turn it, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2. Turn it again, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1.5. Okay. We will deal with our flap that goes on top of it in a minute. For now, I'm going to miter ever so slightly at the top. Okay. Down here, I'm going to come straight across on the score line to the 3rd score line. Okay. And then same thing here, like so. This one, after you cut that out, you'll be able to tell how much you need to miter that by, which it shouldn't be a whole lot. Okay. So now, you're going to fold and burnish. I am going to fold this one back down and burnish again. And then back up and burnish for the last one. Okay. I'm going to do the same thing on the sides. Again. Okay. So grab my book. Open everything up. I'm going to fold these in flat for now and make sure it lines up where I want it to, which is good. Okay, so on this bottom, I am going to miter just a little bit more off of that. Like so. And I'm going to put glue on this tab only. So again, I'm going to pinch my sides in, pinch this bottom up, to make sure when I put this down, I am centered up between my outer flaps. And then I can pull it back, make sure I'm lined up at the bottom, and glue it down. Okay? Now, I'm going to kind of, okay, so we've got our accordions here. I'm going to fold these over flat and bring this up and over where I'm sandwiching my bottom gusset between these two tabs that are getting glued down, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get glue on both sides. Pinch that and then fold it up and down. Just going to kind of burnish this. Kind of hold it for a minute to make sure it has time to grab. And there's our accordion pocket. Okay, flap that goes on top of this needs to be cut down now, because I cut the pocket itself down. So I had it at 5 7/8 by 5.5. However, because I made my pocket slightly smaller, I had to cut this down to 5 3/4 by 5.5. With the 5.5 at the top of your scoreboard, you're going to score 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Miter. This around. Fold and burnish both of your score lines. Flatten that one back out so that only your tab you're gluing is folded down. Okay, and we're going to put that down right here, centered up over the top of our pocket. And then this will push back, and there you go. Okay, so in and down, and there is your gatefold album. Okay, all right, I am going to get our stuff together for our front closure, and I'll be right back. Okay, so for our closure, you're going to need 2 pieces of the heavyweight acetate that are 3 by 7.5. We're going to start out by putting them with the more muted side. Let's see if I can show you how you can see the difference there. Okay, the more muted side facing up. Okay, we are going to score at 2 7/8. Okay. Okay. I am then going to take a scrap of cardstock that is 2 inches by 3 inches. I'm going to take some score tape, and we're going to cover part of the back. Okay, so 2 strips on that side, turn it around, 2 strips on the other side. Okay, and there we go. Okay, I'm going to take my book, flip it over. I'm going to lay the short pieces with the score line, where the score line is going to be up against the side of the book. Okay, I don't want to bend these too much yet, because we're going to have to put them back in our scoreboard here in a minute. But this will help us get this lined up so that we can attach them together. Okay, I forgot before I did that to take this in my ruler, mark where my center was. Just to kind of okay. So so, and then same thing on the other side. Now, of course, this will end up, getting matted or cut apart or something. Will go on top of this when we're finishing off the project and decorating and all that. But for now, this is what we want. So we did not want it to go down just yet. Okay. So we're good there, we're good here. Okay, so there you go. So now, I'm going to turn it over. We're going to pretend that this is underneath where it needs to be. Okay. And we need to figure out where it needs to be scored next. So all I'm doing, I've got it on the back, I've got it wrapping around, and I'm just going to kind of pinch approximately where it needs to go. Okay, same thing on the other side. Okay, so now I have an idea of where, when I put this back in my scoreboard, where I need to score this. So it looks like 2 3/4. It's going to vary on yours depending on how tight you want this belly band to be. But that ended up being 1 7/8 height here. Okay. So on this side, yeah, 2 3/4 on this side as well. Okay. So let's fit this. And that's going to be good. So this is where the other piece comes into play. And it may need to be a little bit bigger. But for now, I think we're good. I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to use 1/2 inch score tape this time, because that's about what I need to grab on that side. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, line this up. Yeah, that's going to be about right. Okay. Okay. Yep, that's going to be about right. Okay. Okay. All right. So there is the belly band that will just slide on here to keep our little folio closed. And I can actually, you know, line it up right. And there you go. All right, that's it. I will go ahead and mat and decorate, because of course everybody has, you know, their way of doing that. And that's it. So as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you end up making this project or any of my other projects, please share them with me on Facebook at Scrapping Under the Influence. You can also tag me on Instagram at Scrapping Under the Influence. And if it's something that I'm doing for Doodlebug or for Country Craft Creations, you can post those on Scrapbookers or Country Craft Creations as well. So, as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!